Welcome back to Is It Still Good, the channel where we watch older films and let you know if they still hold up. Today, we're going to get into a movie I've always loved, but I recently just had some new thoughts upon a rewatch. But first, let's try to tell you guys some of my novels I've written. And we're back. Okay, Rocky 2. That's what we're going to get into. Rocky 2. 1979, rated PG, runs 1 hour, 59 minutes, written, directed, and starring Sylvester Stallone, also starring Talia Shire, Burt Young, Carl Weathers, Burgess Meredith. It's got a really good cast, actually. And this is a funky movie. It's a really weird movie for you younger folks. You're not going to think to go watch this. Rocky films have been polluted by many kind of crappy sequels, and then there's Creed and all this other stuff. But I can say this. Rocky 1 through 4, they're totally worthwhile films to watch, okay? And even 4, which is really cheesy, is still really funny. There's a lot of memes to be mined from that. There's a lot of comedy to be mined from that. It's just a really funny movie. But Rocky 1 did change the game. And I really love the story behind Rocky 1. Sylvester Stallone was very broke. I think he was doing porn at the time, and he didn't have any money, and he wrote Rocky, right? And the studio offered him, higher and higher increments to buy the film from him, and they wanted it starring Mickey Rourke. They did not want him to act in it. But he had a vision. He wanted to be Rocky, and he stuck to his guns, and he said, no, this is a package deal. You buy the film, I star in the film. That's how it goes, right? Well, the studio eventually got up to, I believe it was in the amount of like $300,000, and in 1979 or 1978, whenever this was greenlit, was like a fortune. And Sly Stallone said, I've gotten really good at being broke. I'm not budging on this. And he walked. He did not take the deal. And I think he even had to sell his dog. Like he was getting really broke. But finally the studio came around. Sly starred in the film, and it was a huge hit. Everybody really loved Rocky 1. I think it won an Oscar. I'm not sure. Check me on that in the comments, because I'm kind of looking at Rocky 2 stats here. Rocky 1, great film. I love the movie. I love the soundtrack, especially. I think the acting is just fine. Yes, he was a little rough with his delivery at times, but on a whole, everybody loves Rocky, right? Well, at the end of Rocky 1, Sly loses a narrow decision to heavy favorite Apollo Creed, played by Carl Weathers, expertly, by the way. He's really good. That's the other thing. Carl Weathers is very underrated in the first 2 Rocky movies. He's just an excellent actor. And he got in phenomenal shape. I mean, that's the physique I'm going for. I mean, he looked great. Trying to build up my chest like that, trying to get my traps looking like that. Carl Weathers was shredded in Rocky 1 and 2. But in 1, he wins this narrow decision. And he doesn't hear the end of it, that this bum from Philadelphia went the distance with him. It was a very close match. And he challenges Rocky to a second match, this time even more serious to put him away. There's a little bit more on the line. Rocky may already have brain damage. He gets with Adrian at the end of 1, and now they're starting a life together. They're thinking, she's pregnant, and he's not really training very hard for this match, spending his money. He's not really I really like that about this movie, how Rocky doesn't know how to spend his money. And he blows it on all these expensive things, not realizing that it was sort of like a one-shot deal and he should really invest and be a little safer. Like he buys this house on site for them. Adrian's just kind of putting up with it. And it's a really good movie because she doesn't want him to fight again, and she's really in his face about that. She really does not want Rocky to fight, and it really causes him to train in a lackluster way. And his coach, played by Burgess Meredith, realizes that he's going to get murdered this time. It's going to be really bad if he doesn't get serious. Well, Adrian slips into a coma after childbirth, and Rocky refuses to see the baby until she wakes up. It's really sweet. This is kind of like, almost like Forrest Gump as a boyfriend, but he's like a fighter. I mean, it's really sweet. Anyway, she wakes up. He asks her, what do you want me to do? Anything. And she tells him, just win. Just win. And that moment always chokes me up. Always and forever, I get choked up in that moment. I love that moment because the music starts. He gets freaking pumped up. He starts training serious. And this time it's a much more competitive fight. He's got a strategy to fall back on. He uses heart, determination. I really love this story. I think it's expertly written, by the way. So my contention is that Rocky 2 is actually the best Rocky film of all of them. I've watched them all. many times, and I just rewatched 2, and I gotta say, I think 2 is the best one by far. I don't know. Your mileage may vary. Let me know in the comments. It's kind of a wham-bammer, but that's kind of all I'm getting at. Is just Rocky 2, in my opinion, is my favorite for best Rocky film. I don't think you even need to go past 2 or 3, or you can get to 4 if you want. It's a little cheesy. I like 3 a lot, but I think 2 is the best Rocky film. It's very, very well written. I like the direction style. I think it's just fine. It's very old-timey and kind of cheesy in that way, but I'm kind of a sucker for that stuff. And the Rocky theme, I mean, just pumps everyone up. Every time I watch this movie, I'm getting motivated to get in shape, to go do something. You know, I'm arm wrestling now, so like Rocky's sort of my spirit animal for that. I love Rocky 2. I think it's the best Rocky film. Let me know in the comments which Rocky film is your favorite and why, and let's have a little spirited discussion. Sorry I took a little hiatus, guys. I was getting a little burnt out, but we're right on the cusp of monetization. You know, why not attack this thing again with new fervor, get into it, and start watching some old movies for you guys. I think Lost Highway is going to be next. I got to redo that one as well from the old days. So look for Lost Highway in the next review. But for right now, let me know what you think about the Rocky films. Which one's your favorite and why? My money is on Rocky 2. Go watch it again. You'll see what I mean. And I'll see you guys next time on Is It Still Good?